All right, time to another Steam Deck 2 report, huh? Oh, by the way, hello viewers. Mornings. Another beautiful day. Hope your five senses work. Health and strength is good. Work. Excellent. What? Alright. What do we got here? Another report on the Steam Deck 2. First video cards and now PC games in. So the stove is getting hot. Yeah. When it comes to the Steam Deck 2. So yeah. The question now becomes though, which SKU is Valve going to use, because look at uh, 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 I mean, if you look at the SKU that if you look at the specs that video card has, I did the one for video cards already, but now PC Games N is getting in on this. Listen to this: new AMD Ryzen gaming CPU for handheld, reportedly based on old Steam Deck chip. But it says here, uh, Steam Deck chip. It says the AMD Ryzen Z2A gaming CPU would reportedly be based on the Steam Deck Van Gogh chip as likely option for budget handheld gaming PCs. It says here, it looks like AMD is cooking up a new gaming CPU based on a very familiar design. A new leak suggests that a new AMD Ryzen Z2 processor aimed at the handheld gaming PC market will be based on the Van Gogh APU used in the Steam Deck, likely positioning it as an option for budget handhelds. The Steam Deck kickstarted the revolution in handheld PC gaming, and it continues to dominate, with the Steam Deck OLED still our top recommendation as the best handheld gaming PC out there. The market is getting crowded, however, with plenty of alternatives for gamers to choose from. While AMD looks to power as many of them it can with the new Z2 lineup. It says here, with this new Z2 lineup, it says here, and then Hang said this: Z2A equals Van Gogh. It says here, hardware leaker I think the A is said Hand Fuse shared news of this new leak CPU via post on X, formerly Twitter. I call it Twitter, it's not X. In the post, the name X just sounds crazy. But anyway, Hang simply posted a Z2A equals Van Gogh, with Van Gogh referring to Steam Deck processor, while the Z2 while Z2A refers to a so far unannounced CPU in the new AMD Z2 lineup. No further detail have been shared, although Van Gogh chip used in Steam Deck is a Zen 2 APU fitted with 8 RDNA 2 compute units. We expect similar specs here as a result. And it says here, AMD hasn't confirmed this, however, nor has it officially announced a successor, such a processor itself. However, based on this leak, an AMD Ryzen Z2A would sit below more powerful AMD's Ryzen Z2 Extreme as a budget-friendly option for manufacturers. Such system could also benefit from running SteamOS, as Lenovo is looking to do with its Legion OS. The Linux-based OS developer by Valve is a super optimized to work efficiently on handhelds, and is already fine-tuned to work well on original Van Gogh APU designs. Says here, despite AMD official announcing the Z2 Extreme back in January, we're still waiting for devices that uses the chip to become available. It's expected to be included in the handhelds such as Lenovo Legion Go 2, but there's no sign of them yet. While we wait, make sure to check out our Steam Deck OLED review to see why Valve continues to dominate the market. And yeah, okay, alright. Look, Okay, Valve been dropping, there've been news about Steam all year. Even when the news came out about, you know, this Half-Life 3 and GTA 6 might be the two biggest games this year. Then there was news of Valve updating their stores, and then there's, little news of a developer showing how Half-Life came about, and then Valve doing updates to Team Fortress and Counter-Strike and all this, but then all of a sudden they dropped but then all of a sudden news came out that the original Steam Deck design was sold on eBay, so like the prototype. And now, yes, I think it was yesterday, then about Half-Life 3, news of Half-Life 3 coming out, and then this now. Yeah, the stove is starting to get, the pressure cooker is starting to get, starting to heat up. So now that we know that now, remember when the Switch 2 came out, they were talking about an 8.4 inch screen, but now we got to find out now that it's a 7.9 inch screen. So the Steam Deck right now is sitting at a 7.4. The screen for they were talking about they were talking about the Switch 2 was a 8.4 inch screen, but now it's a 7.9. The Steam Deck right now is sitting at 7.4. So with that being stated, now Valve need to increase the screen size of the Steam Deck too. Because the One X player right now is sitting at 8.4. The Lenovo Legion Go is 8.8, right? So with the Steam Deck 2 now, I would say Valve need to make like between an 8.3 or 8.5 inch, 8.3 or 8.5 inch screen, somewhere in between those two, and just go on from there. They need to make a 1 terabyte model, a 2 terabyte model of the Steam Deck of the Steam Deck 2. But now with this with the article from Video Card showing the Z2 lineup and the Extreme and the AI models, will the question is now become, will Valve be using a Z2 Extreme chip instead of the Van Gogh, or will they go straight to Van Gogh number 2? Remains to be seen. So right now, these leaks and these rumors now that are coming out now, the interest in the Steam Deck 2 now it has intensified now, because the Steam Deck owners now, like myself and others now, we're really interested now. Like, okay, which chip is this thing? Is the Steam Deck 2 is going to use, and what's the screen size, and how many gigs of RAM is going to come with, like, because on the original models, the LCDs and the OLED, the modders were able to get 32 gigs of RAM to work with the Steam Deck right now, and then there was 61 terabytes of storage. So with the Steam Deck 2 now, could you say 48 to about 64 gigs of RAM, somewhere around there? Just say it. So but knowing Valve now, Valve gonna try, if they're coming with one, they say they're looking for a generational leap, when it comes to the Steam Deck. So I don't think with the Ryzen Z2 series, I don't think those are generational, I don't know if those chips fall in the categories of generational leap, but we'll have to see what that means when Valve decide to come out with this, decide to announce the Steam Deck 2, But when they do come out with one, the screen size need to be bigger. It can't be in the 7-inch category anymore. They got to go in the 8-inch categories, in the 8-inch category, and then take it from there. But whatever they and the RAM has to be increased. The RAM has to be the latest, has to be increased to meet the meet with today's high-end demands of video games. Since video games is high maintenance, so Valve, got their work cut out for them when it comes to the Steam Deck too. But whatever their plan is, man, I personally believe that the Steam Deck 2 is going to be good, but I don't think they would go to RDNA 3. If they were going to come with a Steam Deck 2, I say they should use RDNA 4, instead of 3.5. Just go straight 4 or 4.5 and then go on from there. I think they should do that. But yeah, but whatever their plans are, man, that Steam Deck 2 is going to be good, man. Yeah, but they need to make a 1 terabyte model and a 2 terabyte model, I say. Yeah, and have an Oculus port on it. Yeah, the Steam Deck user base, man, is happy now. Any news to keep that user base excited, man. It's just gotten bigger now. So yeah, will Valve be using the Steam? Will Valve be using the Z2 series in the Steam Deck 2? Remains to be seen, man. So we shall see. But in the meantime, save your nickels, pennies, dimes, quarters. $5 bill, $1 bills for the Steam Deck 2, because it is coming. But the question is when? Is when, And will Valve be using those Z2 chips, or are they going to use something else? I don't think they will. Me personally, I don't think they would use RDNA 3.5. I think they should use RDNA 4 instead. There was an article on, I think it was on Phoronix about RDNA 4. Maybe Valve could capitalize on that. So we shall see, man. But this leaker here, man, saying that the Van Gogh is the Z2A. We shall see, man. We shall see. So give it time, man. Give it time. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy, though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek fan. More Dark Side. Go on. Peace. Oh.